What's happening? I'm Iron Man from the music group The Lottery, Showtime Records, and I bring to you my daily views, NBA Playoff Edition. If you enjoy what we do here, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're alerted every time there's a brand new video. We have something very exciting tonight. We have 3 Game 6s tonight on the docket, which means an opportunity for 3 teams to close out the series so they can move on to round 2. And for those other 3 unfortunate teams, this is win or go home. If you can't get excited for games like this, you don't deserve to wear the uniform. We've got the Washington Wizards versus the Toronto Raptors in Washington, D.C. I look for the Wizards to even up the matchup in this series. They've had an injury alert. Otto Porter, who has been underwhelming to say the least in this series. He is injured and will not be available for Game 6 today and Game 7 if necessary. This will force them to give more minutes to Kelly Oubre, who's been very productive, Mike Scott. Hopefully Jason Smith can make his entrance into this game since he did get a DNP to the last one. And Tomas Satoransky, who averaged about 7 points a game. Doesn't seem like much, but every point counts in the NBA. He averaged about 7 points a game during the season, but now he's getting like 0 points and only 4 minutes of play. What the hell can you do in 4 minutes? That's 1 minute and a quarter. What are we talking about here? Why even play this guy at all? Didn't make any sense. Toronto is usually shell-shocked whenever they leave the comfy confines of Toronto, where they are almost unbeatable. Bradley Beal and John Wall played well together last game, but I think they can play much better. John Wall played 44 minutes. That's why he even admitted to running out of gas towards the end of the game. He had 7 momentum game-losing turnovers in the game and only had 9 assists. That is absolutely not going to get it done. I don't care who you play. This is what most likely led to them only scoring 20 points. Count them, 20 points in the 4th quarter. You absolutely cannot win a game like that. What are you, the Detroit Pistons from the 80s? This doesn't make any sense. I expect the infusion of minutes to the new players on the team. They're not new actually to the team, but they just haven't been playing in the series. Injury of Otto Porter Jr. They've been forced into a playing situation. I think it will cause matchup problems for the Toronto Raptors, and they will even up the series, forcing a Game 7. Then we've got the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Indiana Pacers. My homie Mo is overseas, but I know he's on pins and needles, wondering what the outcome of this game will be for his beloved Indiana team. What can I say? In Game 5, LeBron was sensational. He was sensational, as he usually is, but even more so on that night. The key to them winning that game wasn't really about LeBron. It was about the continued to plugging away of Kyle Korver. This guy was a monster on that day. He totally outplayed just about everybody on the Pacers team. The Pacers bench played very well, featuring Lance Bourne, Reddy Stevenson, and Domantas Sabonis. But they need to get much more out of Miles Turner. And of course, out of Victor Oladipo. I can't say it because he sucked that game. He was the eventual reason. When you're the superstar, you got to take the blame. He was the reason why they lost. He had a horrible night, had like 12 points, shot at a ridiculously low shooting percentage. He was just trash until he made that layup off the backboard that LeBron illegally blocked. But there's no crying over spilled milk. I mean, because you just got right before that, in the play before that, LeBron James actually got the ball knocked out of bounds by Thaddeus Young, and the call went against him. So, hey, you win some, you lose some. But he was trash the entire game. There's no way I expect him to be that level of incompetent this next game or this game tonight. So I expect, and they're going to be in the comfy confines of the Indiana arena. So I expect it, and Kyle Korver is not going to be awesome and fantastic again for 2 games in a row without them finding a way to stop this guy or at least slow him down. So I expect LeBron to be fantastic again, but it will be too much for them to handle. Indiana will likely Most likely, I believe they will tie up the series and force a Game 7. Then we got the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz, they totally dominated. They totally demoralized, humiliated, crushed the Oklahoma City Thunder for about 2.5 quarters. Why did they do that? How did they do that? Jay Crowder was playing like the guy we all expected him to eventually become. He knocked down like 4 or 5 threes, played great D. He was cutting to the hole, making good passes. The guy was just fantastic. Ricky Rubio was awesome again. Joe Ingles was knocking down threes coming off of screens. Rudy Gobert was awesome until that third quarter. Halfway through the third quarter, there were some curious calls against Derek Favors. There's some curious calls against the Stifle Tower, Rudy Gobert. Those two guys had to go sit down. They had no one to really back them up on the back line. And then all of a sudden, Steven Adams went to work playing off of Russell Westbrook, who absolutely went into MVP mode. Could not be stopped. When he slowed down, he took his foot off the gas just for half a second. It was only to get a ball to PG-13, Paul George, who was driving into the lane and putting that shoulder into people and still stepping through and making layups, step back threes. The boys were just giving it to them, and Utah had no answers. They just, man, Donovan Mitchell. I mean, he played a hell of a game, especially on the defensive end. But they just did not have enough to stop them boys. Once he got started, man, Russell Westbrook is like a locomotive, and there's no stopping that freight train, man. All you can do is just get out the way. But we, of course, all remember that they were down by like 25. They got into that position. I don't expect Jay Crowder to be that awesome and scintillating, but I expect them to have probably about a 10-point lead going into halftime because they're just a better constructed team. Of course, when you got Russell Westbrook last year's and he's the reigning MVP, I mean, he can win some games for you like he did. But to consistently play like that and just knock down shots from everywhere, just can't be stopped, just on fire for the entire second half. Hey, come on, it's a lot to ask of anybody, even an MVP. You know, I mean, why are you shrugging your shoulders talking about why not? I mean, why not just play better basketball so you don't have to be superhuman? But they allow him to just do whatever he wants to do over there, and that's going to run Paul George right into the arms of all us Laker fans when this series is over, and that will likely be tonight. Being that this game is in Utah, there will be no superhuman comebacks, regardless of the effort. Now, I believe this series is going to be over game number 6. Match goes to the Utah Jazz. Looking forward to seeing the Rockets. Those have been my daily views. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you're alerted every time there's a brand new video. If you think someone else may enjoy the content, feel free to share this video with all your friends, your family, your neighbors, your homies, your BFFs forever, your fans, your followers, your co-workers, and your boss. I definitely appreciate all the love and support. I'm Iron Man from the music group The Lottery, Showtime Records, and it's just how I see it. Be blessed and Godspeed. Feel free to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Really and truly appreciate it. Leave all your interesting comments right down below, especially the ones where you disagree with everything that I just said. And then subscribe so you don't miss any of the newest and latest views.